either on the phone or away from my desk. Please leave a message with a phone number where you can be reached, and I will return the call. Thank you. You may start your message now. Press 0 to return to the attendant.
Hello, this is Kiana Clark. I've been trying to set up supervised visits with my daughter for a while, and I have no idea why multiple staff, including yourself, have not returned my call for months, almost years. So if there's a court-ordered agreement for you to provide supervised visits, I don't understand why you would withhold me those services and deny me access to my child through the supervised visits and not return my calls. I did call the police to inform the police officer that you guys were ducking and dodging me and not returning my calls for my supervised visits. I don't understand why so many parties would treat me this way. Please return my call.
At this time.
Okay, I'm trying to call the Texas Rangers.
Sorry, your call could not be completed
And
at
I
this
can't
time.
call a number.
Please hang up and try your call again later.
I can't call it,
Thank
rather.
you.
This has happened multiple times before. I don't know what's going on, why it won't let me call that number. But the Texas Rangers won't return my call either. So I called Rhonda from Family Place FLP. I've been calling these places for years in different places that won't return my call. The only reason why I'm doing this is for evidence that I've called and reached out and multiple parties will not return my call in multiple different locations, businesses, organizations, all over. So I just feel like I'm in this twilight zone because I want to see my daughter. I don't know what kind of environment she's in. And they're using my love for my daughter to hurt me and deny me access to my child and getting away with it. And then, like we just have absolutely no value, deny my reports of abuse and my daughter's reports of abuse. Like we just are no value at all. Police reports of getting threatened, attacked, ignoring it, slandering me, arresting me, detaining me for cover-up. And some of those situations, like I said, I did not know if I was going to live through it. Some included assaults from our police department. So they're claiming that I'm not a targeted individual. Well, I don't understand. I don't know what else it could be because not a lot of citizens can't report that something is amiss with their cell phone and get their arrest threatened or mistreated for trying to have actual phone service and report something suspicious. Not a lot of citizens, the government steals child support payments and food stamps, and the government can't get their story straight on what happened and allow people to lie and slander me all over the place. It's like they enlist them. And then they blame it on the businesses. They talk to the businesses, tell the businesses to give me a criminal trespass, and then say the business did it. Just like they came in and interrupted me at the Texas Rangers with an arrest while people just sat there and watched and did nothing. For reporting that I felt I feared my life, the abuse of the police department, and my daughter's child abuse. They just sat there and watched. CPS will not take a report of that. Child Protective Services will not take a report, period, of child abuse. And have threatened the police for cover-up. Child Protective Services. The police won't take the reports. Errors. Okay, so I've reached out to Rhonda from the Family Place, and someone is having these people not call me back. The lady that was supposed to be going to the police department with me, she hasn't called me back. It was stated that I do need to try something different. But I mean, everywhere I go, there's this closed doors. Someone's contacting people and shutting the doors. Why do I post my information? I would go to jail at first. So I'm posting it for protection because they would detain me and scheme to take my freedom. So now I'm letting people know where I'm going. So if they scheme and arrest or detain me, then there's evidence of the corruption. It's not a joke. They were arresting me and did it. The last time they did it, detain me on false pretenses, was April 26, 2021. And I think this channel is probably the reason why they haven't done anything else. They did not care. It was a multitude of false arrests and detaining me. They did not care why would police come and arrest someone sitting at a domestic violence support group? This is our government, and it just consistently keeps getting ignored. I was just sitting there trying to learn and get education and fearing my life, and the police interrupted it and assaulted me and arrested me. And then the first time I went to the same location, I was ran off the road and I was terrified, and the police covered for that and told the place not to give me services. With camera footage of the perpetrator running me off the road. I had a camera footage of it with the license plate number. The man stepped out of the car and just stayed there watching me. It's for intimidation tactics and fear. And it worked because I was terrified. And can you imagine how it is trying to record this? This isn't like other people for fun. I am in terror. I don't know if these people are going to didn't know if these people were going to up and kill me. And I wasn't able to think or communicate right because I was so terrified. It may not have shown, but I was terrified. And when you're terrified for your life creating videos, it's not like other people doing it for fun. You may not use it right. You may make mistakes in what you're saying out of fear and terror. So it is going to be a little bit different from the YouTubers that are having fun doing this versus the ones that are in criminal, people are violating them and they're terrified and fighting for their lives. So it may come across a little bit differently. But anyway, so this is a video diary for today. I reached out to Family Place FLP and have multiple times. The breaking point, the solution is to have people stop calling these businesses, preventing my calls and preventing me from getting services. Stop me with the whatever list I'm on as a targeted individual to get me off that list because I have no rights. So that's the solution. I can reach out to everywhere on the planet as long as someone's going behind me telling them not to give me services. And then right in the middle of this chaos, COVID happened. So I couldn't get services anywhere. And I was begging for my life for people. And I'm not saying that they're related, but you can understand why I would think it could have been related. I have been begging for my life, and I was getting a criminal trespass all over the place. They were so corrupt. They thought they can give me a criminal trespass from every place on the planet, so I couldn't be there. I could not believe what I was experiencing, and a lot of things I'm still not talking about because I don't think people would believe me. How big this really was, and I just will not communicate it, But I'm in the middle of when I was finding the breakthrough. Not a lot of people go to the Social Security Administration and they close the whole building down because your abuser don't want you getting Social Security benefits. And he can talk the government into doing things like that. Keeping you from housing, keeping you from mail, keeping you from going to court at your own court date. So you're telling the court, I have been beating on the door, let me go to court, and they would not on my court date. And got away with it. I was asking, what's going on with my court date? Take me to court. They would not. And would not tell me why they weren't taking me to court. In isolation, violating me in isolation. With inmates threatening me, and they put me in isolation when I got threatened. On camera footage. So anyway, I just don't know how long multiple parties will witness this chaos, and it consistently keep getting ignored. There's a lot of watchers, and I'm sure people on here have integrity, and you can make a report. Look at this chaos going on this lady's channel. That's what I would do if it was me. I don't know if people are reporting this chaos. This is our government. If they're doing all of this, who knows what else they're capable of doing? You don't be enlisted with a stalker. Stalkers, have issues. And if the government wants to take orders from the stalker, what else will they do for him? And who all else? They've closed down parks. Who else will they violate? Like I said, I've been begging for my civil rights for a long time. Then COVID happened. I thought it was a scheme because they've been scheming for years, giving me 3 or 4 criminal trespasses a day just for trying to order food. This was before COVID. They were scheming, so I couldn't have. So it appeared like I was a problematic, and that's exactly the way they wanted it to appear because I didn't know. It was new, and I had no clue what was going on. But I knew I went into an awful lot of businesses that blatantly lied on me with the police department. And I wouldn't believe it myself if would not have witnessed it. So I know if you're watching this, no, you had to have been doing something. Businesses are not going to lie. No, they lied with the police department and gave me multiple criminal trespasses, ruined food. So I would complain to where it was sometimes it wasn't even edible. And then when I complained because I was purchasing it, then they give me a criminal trespass or call the police or do different things so I couldn't have service. This happened sometimes. I tried to get food 3 or 4 times a day and was not able to because they were scheming so I couldn't buy food, going through all this chaos. So I don't mention it because I just don't think people would believe me. Then COVID. But of some of these videos, you can get an idea. They're saying leave or I'll call the police. I'm just walking in these businesses and they're telling me to get out and deny me food purchase. It is unbelievable, but that was my experience. And that's what I tried to show, but I just knew it wasn't believable. So I just erased a lot of the videos because I don't think people would. The people blocking me with their baskets, starting arguments in stores, scheming, that really happened. But, I don't think it's believable. People blocking my view to make purchases, they get in the way. Or like if I'm looking at something on the shelf, they purposely get in the way and block my view of products. I've had carts pushed at me, and then because I didn't know when I tried to record it, then it's intended to make you look mentally ill. So they pushed the cart at me, and then when I start recording and telling people what's going on, it makes me look mentally ill. But this stuff was really going on. People were really pushing their baskets toward me, and they would look directly at me, then push their basket toward me in a threatening manner. Start arguments. Staff were really holding up the line. I would look at them, and they would just stand there, holding up the lines. And I wouldn't believe it if I wouldn't have witnessed it. Why would people at stores just stand there and not let people check out? But it has to be a specific person and just stand there and not let them and check out people. It was the oddest thing, but it also sets me up for mental illness because no one would believe it. That is that chaotic and that petty to where they would have people hold up my line, the line that I'm in.